This presentation talks you through the placements on the PGCE Further Education and Skills course. Your placements are going to be challenging. So to start with in placement, you'll be doing lots of observation, but then increasingly as you're in placement, you'll gradually take on more and more of the teaching. And it's really about your mindset of being open to being challenged and pushed and maybe moved outside of your comfort zone. You're going to be teaching your subject specialism, you're going to know that well, but we know that to start with it's a bit terrifying teaching a group of young people. So your mentor will be there to support you throughout that process and will guide you through as you go through your year. The first thing to say about placements is that we find them for you. You don't have to find them. If you do know of a placement that you think you would like to go to, by all means tell us. We're more than happy to listen to possibilities of where you might want to teach, and we'll talk to you about that at interview. Where possible, as much as possible, we try and make placements close to where you live, because then you have the shortest possible distance to travel. Now that's not always possible because we don't always have a plethora of subject offers, and sometimes your subject might only be taught in certain colleges or certain settings. So we do say you have to be prepared to travel up to 2 hours to get to placement by public transport. Now that's very unusual, and I should stress that's very unusual, but it does happen on occasions. So again, this is one of those things that we will talk to you about at interview and after you've got a place on the course, to try and find your placement close to where you live wherever we can. The placement setting that you go to will want to interview you before you get there, and so you will need a CV and you will need to turn up at that interview prepared and looking like you want to be teaching. So we will encourage you to always read around the setting where we're sending you to and find out more about the courses around your subject that they're teaching, and to go in fully prepared and looking like a teacher from that very first moment. And that's really important, and making that good first impression is very important in the placement. And like I said, you'll need a CV, and so we will send you a template for a teaching focused CV. If you already have a CV, that's fine. You can maybe just tweak it a little bit to make sure it's focused towards teaching. And once we've got your CV, that's the thing we use to get your placements. Over the course of your PGCE year, you will have 3 placements. Your main placement will be from September all the way through to June, and that's so you can get to meet your learners at the very start of the year and you see them progress throughout the year. In that main placement, you'll also have a designated mentor who will be somebody who's an experienced teacher who will be supporting you in your placement, and they will be your main point of contact whilst in the placement setting. You also have a second placement, which usually happens just after Christmas, where you'll be observing your subject being taught in another setting. And that's really to give you that sense of how your subject might be taught differently in different settings. And that's an important part. You don't necessarily do much teaching in that second placement. It's not for very long, it's just for a few days, but you will be seeing that teaching happen. And then your third placement, which is usually around about Easter time, you'll be experiencing a different sort of further education and skills setting. And that's really to give you that full sense of what the sector might have on offer for you. So that's everything you might need to know.